How do fWAR and bWAR differ in defensive calculations? Imagine trying to measure how good a player is at stopping runs in baseball. Now, picture two different ways to do that. That's what we're exploring today. When it comes to baseball statistics, especially wins above replacement, or WAR, the way defense is calculated can vary a lot. Fans and analysts often compare FanGraphs WAR and baseball reference WAR to get a full picture of a player's value. But the key difference lies in how they measure defensive performance. FanGraphs WAR uses a metric called Ultimate Zone Rating, or UZR. UZR looks at how many runs a player saves or costs his team based on how many plays he makes or misses over several years. It considers a player's range, arm strength, errors, and double plays. Because it uses data from about 3 seasons, UZR smooths out short-term fluctuations but might not catch recent improvements or declines. Baseball reference WAR, on the other hand, relies on defensive runs saved, or doctors. Doctors focuses on actual plays made or missed during a single season. It tracks how many runs a player saves or costs based on real game data. Since doctors is based on just one season, it can be more sensitive to a player's current form but also more prone to fluctuations. The difference in data scope and methodology means that UZR and doctors can produce different results for the same player. If a player has a high UZR but a moderate doctors, his FanGraphs WAR might be higher than his baseball reference WAR. Conversely, if a player had a great season that isn't reflected in multi-year UZR data, his baseball reference WAR might show a higher value. Both metrics assign a 0 value to an average defender at each position. Positive numbers mean above average defense, negative numbers mean below average. Because of these differences, the defensive component in WAR can vary quite a bit. This impacts how we see a player's overall value, especially for those with unusual defensive skills or when evaluating rookies. In the broader picture, both WAR versions include other parts like batting, base running, and positional adjustments. But the way defense is measured is the main reason they sometimes give different totals. For pitchers, the differences are less about the defensive metrics and more about how defense and pitching outcomes are combined. To sum up, FanGraphs WAR uses UZR, which looks at multi-year data and probabilistic estimates of making plays. Baseball reference WAR uses doctors, which is based on actual plays from a single season. These differences can lead to notable variations in the defensive part of WAR for players, affecting how we interpret their overall value today and in history.